Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. Welcome to our daily Hindu newspaper analysis. I hope I am audible to everyone. Those who are live with us, just give me a confirmation whether I am audible or not, right? Okay. Just give me a little bit of confirmation whether I am audible or not. Thank you, Komal. Right. Okay. So I have a little sore throat today. So we would have to adjust, right? So bear with me for this particular session because I have a a little bit of sore throat, right? Okay. Now, let's talk about the today's main news that has come in the today's newspaper, right? IT teams survey BBC offices over violation of laws. Now, there have been certain, if income tax department is conducting certain raids, if we could say BBC offices, yes, it could be relation to, let's say, anything particularly or any tax evasion it could have done or any deal that was not done in a legal manner. As a result, they have conducted a survey. But one thing we have to recognize, that there is a possibility that this could be in the context of, let's say, we don't have to discuss this, but just is for general information, because certain way our documentary released by BBC was blocked by, let's say, our authorities, considering the content that it was presented in that particular documentary, right? तो ये एक बेसिक चीज है जो पता होनी चाहिए कि आईटी टीम ने सर्वे किया है बीबीसी ऑफिसेज ओवर वायलेशन ऑफ लॉज. Action comes just weeks after the BBC released film on Gujarat riots. BJP says some sections can't digest India's growing heft on the world stage, right? So this is the basic news that has come in the today's newspaper and it has been given a lot of importance. Okay, now moving to the next part. Now there is nothing important over in the regional page or on the states page. We would directly go towards the editorials page, right? These two editorials are not that much important. One is related to inflation. We have discussed that a lot. And second is related to the Adani matter, right? Now, the third important thing or the article that we have to discuss today . Just give me a 1 second. Okay. Now, these two articles are very, very important. Let's try to understand these two articles. The first article is about the newly introduced, or that is going to be introduced, bill by the name of, let's say, our we could say Geo Heritage Sites and Geo Relics Bill 2022. Yesterday I discussed with you guys that Geological Survey of India would be given the power, let's say, under this particular bill, to declare a site as a Geo Heritage Site. Now this thing we have to understand कि इनको power दी जा रही है, that is the GSI, that they would be given the power to declare any site as the Geo Heritage Site. Now Geo Heritage Site could be anything that contains information about fossils, relics or certain landforms. So that is a particular thing that would be vested with the power of Geological Survey of India. And if any site is declared a, let's say, a Geo Heritage Site, then around its 100 meter there would be no construction activities allowed. Very important. कोई construction activity भी allowed नहीं होगी अगर हम 100 मीटर की बात कर रहे हैं, और they would have also the power to give a fine as well as they have the provision under imprisonment as well. Now, one thing we have to understand कि जब हम जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया की बात कर रहे हैं और ऐसी रेलिक्स, ऐसे फॉसिल्स की बात कर रहे हैं, तो रिसेंटली देयर वाज अ रिसेंट वी कुड से रिसेंट एक हमें खोज हुई थी जहां पे वी वर एबल टू फाइंड इन द नर्मदा रीजन दैट वाज द डायनासोर्स फॉसिल्स एग्स वर फाउंड दैट पर्टेन्स टू द लेट्स से टाइटानोसॉरस के टाइम पे. इट पर्टिकुलरली बिलोंग टू दैट पर्टिकुलर पीरियड. नाउ द क्वेश्चन ओवर हियर इज, why is the only Geological Survey of India is given the power to declare a site as a Geo Heritage Site? सिर्फ उन्हीं के पास पावर क्यों होनी चाहिए, जबकि और भी बहुत सारे प्राइवेट सेक्टर हैं, और भी बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, और भी बहुत सारे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं. So we have a team of, let's say, outside this government body, we have a lot of sources, lot of experts and lot of institutions that could do a better work, or if not better, can do the same work as compared to Geological Survey of India. So as a result, this article talks about considering how much important these particular fossils, relics and landforms are. It is necessary that we don't focus only on this geo heritage sites we call declaration by Geological Survey of India. Rather, there shall be a body that is, let's say, it could be in the form of a national body where you could have options from various parts of the, let's say, outside the domain of Geological Survey of India. So the question over here is whether the government in the coming time, when it will, let's say, introduce the bill, अभी उसने introduce नहीं किया है, जब वो बिल को इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे, क्या वो कुछ थोड़े बहुते चेंजेस करना चाहेंगे इस पर्टिकुलर बिल के अंदर, एंड लेट्स से कुड दे make authority like on the basis of pan India level rather than this Geological Survey of India that shall be given the whole power to declare a particular site as geo heritage site. Ab when we talk about UPSC is very clever. Now this bill is in news and dinosaurs fossil eggs were found, right? So that could be a question that could come in the paper. अब ये चीज इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है भाई, जो फॉसिल के अंडे मिले टेटानोसॉर्स के मिले हैं, and there are certain characteristics that are, if we talk about dinosaur fossil eggs that belong to the Titanosaurus period, there were certain framework or there were certain we could say regularities that are found with the which the dinosaurs laid their eggs, right? एक एग्जांपल दूंगा, ये जो हमें eggs मिले नर्मदा रीजन में डायनासोर के, that is the period belonging to Titanosaurs, they were in the same we could say way as crocodile lays their eggs, that is by digging a we could say a pit, right? So there were a lot of characteristics that are similar we could find in this particular condition if we talk about the fossil eggs that have been found in the Titanosaurus period, right? Ab, this is the important thing that we have to understand in this particular editorial, that is Geological Survey of India bill coming, they have the power to declare, but the article says iske beyond bhi hame move karna chahiye. I hope you are you with me and you are getting my point. Just give me a yes or no. ओके यस सुविन वेरी गुड, बिकॉज जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया एक बहुत पुराना इंस्टीट्यूशन है, 170 साल पुराना इंस्टीट्यूशन है, राइट? So it is very necessary that we have representation from various parts of the field, people who are more updated and equipped with this particular knowledge and technology, right? चलिए, moving to the next part. Now, अब ये आर्टिकल है शेपिंग अ मोर डिसेबल्ड फ्रेंडली डिजिटल इकोसिस्टम. कई बार ना आर्टिकल से ज्यादा हमें उसका बेसिक समझना चाहिए, वो कहना क्या चाह रहा है. नाउ आई थिंक एवरीवन नोज दैट वी आर नाउ इन दिस एज ऑफ डिजिटल इकोसिस्टम्स, राइट? वी आर लेट्स से कंपाउंडेड विद सो मेनी एप्स, और वी कन्फ्रंट if we have to do, let's say, anything, we have to buy something, we go to Amazon, we go to Flipkart, right? And if we have to order certain groceries, we go to Blinkit. We have so many options over there as well if we want to order online. So that particular technology is there, digital ecosystem is there, but the question comes whether it is accessible for the disabled person or not. Very important. क्या वो डिसेबल्ड पर्सन के लिए accessible है? क्या उसमें ऐसे टूल्स एंड फीचर्स है that could be used by the disabled person? Maybe a person could not see, right? Maybe person who doesn't have hands, right? So that is the particular thing that this particular article is saying, considering the number of population that we have who are disabled. So as a result, if we have to make sure that we have a campaign going on, that is Accessible India campaign, we talk about persons or the rights of the persons with disabilities, we have to make sure that we are giving these persons, if this is the age of digital ecosystem, we are giving them the right tools, the right technology, and we are making each and everything that is accessible for them as well. Not only in this digital ecosystem, but we have to do in that particular physical infrastructure as well. Because few days back there was a recent report that came that when we talk about accessibility of the disabled people, let's say in the school infrastructure, it is very, very poor, because somehow we have seen there are certain washrooms that are not being made for the disabled persons if we talk about at the school level. As a result, their enrollment ratio at the school level is very, very low. So if we have to talk about the persons with disabilities, we have to make sure that we are giving them the physical infrastructure as well as digital infrastructure as well, right? And in this particular thing, artificial intelligence could play a very, very important role. We have already seen the extent and the applications that artificial intelligence could provide. Now it is the time that if we think on a positive mind step and we have the perspective that we want to include inclusive growth of all the people, that's articulated by our Prime Minister, that sabka saath, sabka vikas. So we have to make sure that we as a people, as a community, and as a country are making technologies, whether considering in mind that we have to cater it to the disabled people as well, right? So this is the thing that you have to understand. Okay, I hope this point is clear to everyone. Yes, Rajinder, very good. Okay, moving to the next part. Okay, now again a same issue that is coming again and again. Ladakh, a fragile region, needs autonomy. Yes, it needs autonomy, because the way the things are happening, because in 2019 when J&K Reorganization Act was passed, it was made a separate union territory, and the people of Ladakh were very happy that finally they could come out under the shadow of Jammu and Kashmir. But now they are asking for special, let's say, provisions that shall be given to them as compared to other tribal areas that we have in the Schedule 6 that are given certain special privileges. तो लद्दाख के लोग भी अपने लिए कुछ स्पेशल प्रिविलेजेस की बात कर रहे हैं, right? So this thing we have to understand, that they are asking for something that needs to be given to them so that they are or they could take the advantage of this particular day and age. This is the particular editorial that is talking about this particular thing, right? अभी हमारे सोलर पावर प्लांट्स वहां पे बनने लग रहे हैं लद्दाख में, राइट? सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ इनिशिएटिव्स दैट आर गोइंग ऑन, बट द थिंग इज whether center would provide them the basic requirements that they are asking for or not. अभी सेंटर ने कमेटी बनाई थी टू डिस्कस अपॉन द रिफॉर्म्स, यहां कर सकते हैं, पर जो उनकी मेजर पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज है, दे हैव आउटराइटली डिस्कार्डेड दोस पर्टिकुलर कमेटी, सेइंग दैट देयर एजेंडा डजंट इंक्लूड द थिंग्स दैट वी वांट, दैट इज अ स्पेशल autonomy. So this is the particular problem that has been going on if we talk about in the area of Ladakh. And as a community and as a country, we have to make sure that we take the people of Ladakh in our development process, right? So अब देखना होगा कि what is the tussle that is going on and what it holds for the further future. Okay. अभी आपके लिए न्यू लिबरलिज्म इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. The important thing is leveraging J&K's lithium reserves. Now this is a very very important thing that this article says, and we have to understand it very very carefully. Now अब ध्यान से थोड़ा समझते हैं. Let's say I am talking about lithium. हाँ जी, is it visible to everyone? The lithium that I have written on this blackboard, green screen. If you want to me to change the, let's say, color of the pen, I could do that. हाँ जी, visible. Okay. Now there is a lithium reserve that we have found in the region of Jammu and Kashmir, right? Now you have to understand one thing, that we import 70% of the lithium, if I could say, from China and Hong Kong. One of the very important thing. So let's say this discovery of lithium ions could create or reduce our dependence upon particularly China and Hong Kong. One of the other aspect that you have to understand, this is about the imports that we are doing. It doesn't mean that it has the highest number of lithium reserves of the world. When we talk about the lithium reserves, it is in these American countries, what we call it as the lithium triangle. That is Argentina, Bolivia and Chile. Argentina, Bolivia and Chile has the, we could say they have this lithium triangle. Now one thing we have to understand, that yes, lithium is very very important. What for? For making lithium ion batteries that would be finally used in electric vehicles. And we have a certain agenda going on that we want to cut down our emissions level, and we have to move to net zero emissions, and we have a certain target कि हमें net zero emissions achieve करनी है by 2070, right? This is a target or commitment that we have made under intended nationally determined contribution, or you could say we have made this under Paris Agreement. Now to achieve our Paris Agreement, to achieve net zero emissions by 2070, we have to shift towards electric vehicles. Electric vehicles में सबसे बड़ा component क्या है? Lithium ion batteries. Now one thing we have to understand that when we are talking about lithium ion batteries, we were importing it, the lithium that is from China and Hong Kong. Plus there are certain reserves of lithium where we call it the lithium triangle. But there are certain problems when I talk about the extraction of lithium. क्वेश्चन है क्या ये एक्सट्रैक्शन इन्वायरमेंट फ्रेंडली है या नहीं है? पहली बात, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अगर हम लिथियम को एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं, इट इज अ क्रिटिकल मेटल, इट अब्सॉर्ब्स अ लॉट ऑफ वाटर, so there is a lot of water requirement if I talk about mining of lithium. Second important thing that we have to understand that it also results in a certain emissions. It also result in certain emissions. Now these are the two environmental concerns that we have if I talk about the extraction of lithium. Now where is lithium being found in India? It is being found in Jammu and Kashmir. That is a part of our Himalayan state. And one thing we know, our Himalayan ecosystem is a very fragile ecosystem and it is a new mountain range, right? Old mountain range तो नहीं है, हम इन्हें young fold mountains कहते हैं, right? तो ये new mountain range का ही part है and any mining has to take place over this particular area of J&K. It could have certain environmental concerns. We have already seen, अगर आप किसी एरिया को डेवलप करते हो हिमालयन स्टेट्स में beyond its carrying capacity, it can lead to a disaster like the Joshimath disaster that we have just witnessed. So what is the solution for this? The solution for this lies in that if you have to go for this mining of lithium, you have to take the trust and the involvement of the indigenous communities. Very important. You have to involve indigenous communities. That is, their role becomes very, very important. अगर आप इंडिजीनियस कम्युनिटीज को इन्वॉल्व करोगे, दे नो बेटर अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन, दे नो बेटर अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया, देन ओनली दिस लिथियम एक्सट्रैक्शन कुड बिकम वेरी वेरी गुड, राइट? अदरवाइज वी हैव सीन देन देयर आर, लेट्स से जम्मू एंड कश्मीर ऑलरेडी क्या है, थोड़ा सा अगर हम बात करें, एक कंटेस्टेड और डिस्प्यूटेड स्टेट रहा है. एज अ रिजल्ट, इफ पीपल ऑफ द एरिया आर नॉट टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन, देयर we could say their opinion is not being considered, then we could have a certain scenario where we'll not be able to mine lithium in Jammu and Kashmir. So one of the thing is environmental concerns, take the control of opinion of indigenous communities. You have to look at the consumption of water and about the emissions. Now one thing is, article says what we can learn from this lithium triangle countries or this American countries. यहां भी तो लिथियम की माइनिंग होती है, यहां पे ये क्या करते हैं? अब यहां पे सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात क्या है, इनका एक बहुत अच्छा कंप्लायंस नेटवर्क है. अगर वो लिथियम की माइनिंग कर भी रहे हैं, सो दे आर मेकिंग श्योर दे हैव अ वेरी गुड कंप्लायंस नेटवर्क. सो कंप्लायंस नेटवर्क हर जगह बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है अगर आपने कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट लगाना है. So one of the thing is they have a very good compliance network and we have to understand कि हमें ये चीज करनी पड़ेगी. इनसे compliance कैसे कर सकते हैं, better strategies कैसे लेके आ सकते हैं. हाँ, एक चीज बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है. लेट्स से कहीं माइनिंग होती है, राइट? पीपल आर डिसलोकेटेड और पीपल उनको एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाना पड़ता है. उन लोगों का क्या होगा? That is also very very important that we have to make sure कि हम इस लिथियम की जब माइनिंग करेंगे, हमें उसके अंदर इस चीज को ध्यान रखना चाहिए. Now you have a question, sir. जब हम माइंस और मिनरल्स की बात करते हैं, there was an act that was made in 2015 that talk about establishing of district mineral foundations. Now what is the purpose of DMF? To look after those people who are dislocated by this process of mining. And we have seen the progress of district mineral foundations. They are not working to their full capacity as they ought to be. जो इनका प्राइमरी पर्पस था, उस चीज के लिए तो ये काम ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो इंडिया में DMFs काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो एक्चुअली लोगों को रीलोकेट करने का काम करते हैं या उनकी तकलीफें सुनते हैं, so that the people who are affected by the mining could be looked after, right? So this is the work of DMF, but this is not working properly. We have to learn from the South American countries how to follow the compliance network if we have to make sure that we achieve the final goal, that is net zero emissions by 2070. All of this is basically going towards our Paris thing. One thing you have to understand, if you are manufacturing lithium in your own country, then सबसे पहली चीज इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है, आपका इंपोर्ट बिल कम होगा। आपका क्या होगा, इंपोर्ट बिल कम होगा, आपके पास डॉलर ज्यादा बचेगा, आपकी एमिशंस कम होंगी और आप बहुत ज्यादा फॉरेन रिजर्व सेव कर सकते हो। सो दिस इज द थिंग दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट दिस लिथियम reserves that have been found in Jammu and Kashmir. Are you with me or not? Are you able to understand this whole picture? Right. Tell me first. Right. So ये important aspect है UPSC 2023 के point of view से about this lithium reserves that have been found in Jammu and Kashmir. Right. Moving to the next part. There is nothing important over here. Army set to close around 80 deals worth 15,000 crore. Let's say अभी आर्मी कह रहे हैं कि वो 15,000 करोड़ की डील साइन करने वाले हैं, जब करेंगे तो देख लेंगे, ठीक है। ओके, मेडिकल असिस्टेंस वर्थ 7 करोड़ गिवन टू क्विक हिट Turkey and Syria. Now one thing we have to understand, we have a beautifully disaster diplomacy that we have adopted over here. We have sent support and made sure that we represent ourselves as a friend of the world, and what we have done, that we have given 7 crore aid that has been given to Turkey and Syria, and our forces are over there that are trying to rescue people who have been under the rubble in the disastrous hit region of Turkey and Syria. Yes, we have emissions from the thermal power plant, which also create a more carbon emission. What you are trying to say? Your question is not being. We know, yes, we know, Krishnamurti, right. Operation Dost, very good. Operation Dost is basically, it is related to the help that is being given by the India to Turkey and Syria, right. So this is the thing that you have to understand. ओके, दिस इज और पॉलिटिकल न्यूज, मेघालय त्रिपुरा, राइट। त्रिपुरा की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी कौन सी है जो नई इवॉल्व होके आ रही है और उसकी डिमांड है ग्रेटर त्रिपुरा लैंड। व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द पार्टी दैट हैज बीन फॉर्म्ड बाय द लेटेस्ट दैट स्वेप्ट द इलेक्शन ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट काउंसिल? व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द पार्टी दैट हैज अ कोर आइडियोलॉजिकल डिमांड दैट इज ऑफ ग्रेटर त्रिपुरा लैंड? कैन एनीवन टेल मी इन द कमेंट बॉक्स व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द पार्टी? वेरी गुड पूजा जी, इट इज त्रिपुरा मोठा। इस तरह से तैयारी करो ताकि आपकी तैयारी देख के लोगों को लगे कि हां भाई इन्होंने न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा है, राइट। चलिए, मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट। ओके, नाउ सेम न्यूज, पॉलिटिकल न्यूज चल रही है, राइट, नथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट ओवर हियर। एंड फाइनली देयर इज अ allegations that are being thrown by China that they have also spotted US spy balloons over their particular area, right? Chalo, moving to the next part. Then we have our economics news, nothing important coming over here. Recently बस repo rate को increase किया है, and finally we are done with our today's analysis, right? So thank you so much guys. Important thing है, lithium वाला article पढ़िए, accessible India वाला पढ़िए, लद्दाख वाला पढ़िए, और साथ में जो जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया वो वाला आर्टिकल पढ़िए. दिस इज द थिंग दैट यू हैव टू रिवाइज फॉर टुडे इन रिलेशन टू करंट अफेयर, और वी कुड से द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर एनालिसिस. Thank you. Okay, it could give legal sanctity. I am not aware of it. I have to check the Bear Act. Then only Rajinder Singh, I can tell you whether it is given under the act or not. Whether about virtual courts, right? ये देखना पड़ेगा यार. तुम बता रहे हो आर्टिकल 142 देख लेंगे, ठीक है, बट मैंने ऐसा आर्टिकल पढ़ा नहीं है, ठीक है, बाकी देख लेंगे, राइट? ओके, एनीवन एल्स हैज एनी डाउट? अच्छा, नॉन क्रीमी लेयर सर्टिफिकेट. चेतु अगेन सॉरी, अब आपका क्वेश्चन है, आपका क्वेश्चन क्या, पहले तो ये बताओ मुझे, व्हाट इज योर क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू नॉन क्रीमी लेयर सर्टिफिकेट? क्विकली टेल मी फास्ट. ओके चेतु, आप एक काम कीजिए, आप हमें रिसेप्शन पे कॉल कीजिए, हम आपको क्लियर करके बता देंगे व्हाट इज द होल प्रोसीजर, राइट? तो आप उसके लिए कर सकते हो. इज इट क्लियर टू यू? यू कॉल ऑन द नंबर गिवन इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बिलो एंड आस्क अबाउट योर एनी डिटेल्स. Okay, thank you so much guys, take care, bye bye, we will see each other tomorrow same time 9 a.m. till then, thank you, bye bye.